Hi everybody, welcome to Stitch in Time. I'm Boise, I'm your host. We're going to go with our daily thing that we have, our Happiness One Day at a Time book. We got a few of the cats hanging out with me today. Kind of fun actually. June 14th, setting out to explore. And this should apply to you, me, and anybody who's out there listening or checking out this book and reading it. Today I'm setting out to explore the world. I am expecting a wonderful adventure. I have come to understand that by staying alone at home or by settling into my strict routine, I miss out on the opportunity to live my life to its fullest and achieve my full potential. I am beginning this voyage of discovery to find out who I am. By communicating, I now seek to build bridges between myself and others. Reaching out to other people, that's the main thing. That's the most important thing for a lot of us. A lot of us really need to just get out there, meet other people, and see what it's like. I've gone to like family functions, let's just say a wedding. And there's food and there's drink and there's merriment and there's a lot of good times. And sometimes people don't understand that, well, I don't drink. They think it's odd. They think, well, you don't drink because you're going to get in trouble. The courts won't let you. Hey, you weren't that bad of a drunk after all. Hey, just one or two isn't going to hurt. What's the big deal? It's a celebration, and you're trying to connect with people and reach out, and it's your family, friends, co-workers at the wedding, and you feel awkward because you are in a situation where you're not drinking. I've been in many of those situations. Drinking for me was always a fun thing. A wedding reception was always a grand thing. Oftentimes, I got away pretty unscathed. Had a good time, a lot of good memories. But in the end, there were a lot of times that was pretty bad, where there was a fight or there was a confrontation based on my drinking. And these kind of things come out, and we experience them, and they're uncomfortable, they're unfortunate. Sometimes, as we're trying to reach out for other people and try to fit in, we stumble and we fall. And we make fools of ourselves, and it's hard to go on. We sometimes just say, well, that's that. I'm not going to do it anymore. And that's really not a proper way to rebound from a situation like that. That's just your dark side, your other self saying, hey, we just couldn't do it. But hey, I'm always here for you. Let's go out and have that hit. Let's have a drink. Let's go do something. And that's the thing. We get into that little circle, a vicious cycle. And it's funny because even when we're doing that and we're socializing and we're out drinking, we're actually cutting people off left and right. Left and right. We're actually going in a circle. We're just in a roundabout, going around and around. We feel movement, therefore we figure we're going progressively forward and living life naturally, and we're actually just like a dog chasing its tail until we become dizzy and collapse on the front porch and wonder what happened to the adventure. When we collapse on the front porch, that's sometimes us hitting rock bottom. We've just crashed the car. We've just done something really bad. We've just lost our job. We just lost our girlfriend or wife due to drinking. We have problems with our family due to drinking. And these are things that you're going to have to deal with. Even when you're successful, there are awkward moments. You should really embrace them because it is human connection. Every connection isn't, oh, that was wonderful. Oh, that was great. Oh, wow, this is so easy. Why didn't I become sober? Hey, how you doing? How are you? How come I didn't become sober sooner? This is like falling off a log. How simple can this possibly be? And if you've been in an AA meeting, you've heard some of the horror stories that other people have said about their own lives. They probably apply to you in various degrees. You might even get the impression that this guy's really bad. Oh, thank God I'm not him. Well, aren't you? Couldn't you be? Haven't you been? Are you minimizing what you've done in the past to lead you to this area. Rock bottom is rock bottom. Rock bottom, you're all alone. Nobody in your family really understands you at rock bottom, because as far as they're concerned, you've been jacking it up for so long that this should just be just another day for you. And that's the key to all this, is that you have to be able to look at yourself objectively and say, look, I'm really messing this up. The problem is, when you're at rock bottom, you are alone. Your brother and your sister and your father and your mother and everybody else that's with you, they have an idea where you're at. They're not next to you. They don't know where you're at. They have no idea the difficulty, because they don't have a problem with alcohol or drugs. Why do you? Certainly it must be a weakness in you, or something that made you fall. Otherwise, you'd be strong like me and we wouldn't be having this conversation. And it's normal for people like sober people that don't have an addiction to think that way. Completely normal. Why wouldn't they think any other way? They might have sympathy for you. They might try to have empathy for you. Some may even have empathy and understand what you're going through and are patient. Those become more your favorite ones, family members, when you're going through your sobriety program. But be careful, because they can sometimes become your enabler too. Your brain plays that trick on you. When you go into a treatment situation, now you have people that are your peers. Now you have people that have done things for drugs or alcohol, or done things because of drugs or alcohol. And because of these horror stories, you might be able to open up a little more and let something else out that's in there, a dark secret, something in your past that's holding you back, something that keeps bubbling up to the top, and you need to deal with it. And the only way you can deal with it is talking about it. It make you feel awkward, make you feel uncomfortable. It might even make you cry in a group setting. There are times, even after 30 years, I hear a story and I get all teared up. I might even talk about something in the past and I get teared up. And I look at it like there's some more work to be done back there. There's a shadow somewhere in something in which I thought was cleared up or clear with me. Clearly it's not. There's something going on. I have to look at that. You have to be diligent about what you do with yourself and how you approach things. I make light of some things and have fun with it, but the reality is that it is your life. It is what you're going to do with your life. Do you plan to live your life to the fullest, or just get by with what you got? Are you going to be able to barely maintain what you're into? Communicating with others is very important, even people that are not in the program, because you need to understand what other people are thinking and what they are going through in their day-to-day life. They have misery. They want to reach out as well. I think the most important thing is that communicating with someone verbally. You might shake their hand when you meet them, touch them on the back of the shoulder and go, I understand. There's not a lot of connection after that, physical connection. It's just mostly emotional. But emotional will grip you. It'll hug you. It'll hold you. It'll nurture you. It'll make you stronger. The wrong connection will grip you, torture you, squeeze you, and hurt you beyond your own belief. And you could use that as an excuse not to be sober at that point, because this person did this to me, made me feel this way. Always remember, it's about you. You and how you react. You and how you feel. And how you're connecting with other people. What have you done to connect with anybody? It could be just anybody at work. Take a few minutes just to chat with them. Maybe you still smoke. If they're having a cigarette, going up for a smoke break, and someone's out there smoking. It's a good opportunity to talk to them. In the break room, no smoking. just having a snack. They all have a snack. Have a chit chat. Talk with them. Within 4 minutes, you're going to find out that you have a lot in common, whether it be music, football, sports, television shows, dramas, you name it. It's out there. That's what the arts do. The arts reach out, touch people. A good artist can touch people. Can't touch everybody, but they can touch a certain few and affect them. Just like you, in the art of life, can reach out and touch someone. Once you have that connection with somebody, you can only build on it. You can break it, but you can build on it. And there are others. When you go to meetings, you're going to meet more and more people. They like to call it Alcoholics Anonymous because some people are hiding and they don't know how to fix it in public. This gives them the opportunity. If they are in a situation where they're afraid other people might know, or reasons not to tell people, that's their business. And that's the reason why we just use our first name. It's also, some people use their full name. I threw my name out there all the time. I still do. I usually just go by my first name anyways because it's so unique and out there that you're not going to meet too many other Boise's. I'll even make a joke when I meet people like, hey, Boise, what's your last name? Well, I meet another Boise, you let me know. But I'll tell them if they want to know, because some people think it's kind of shady if you just say your first name all the time. These are not alcoholic anonymous situations. If you're in an AA meeting and you want to even give them a false name, go for it, you know? At that point, you're with a bunch of people that are your peers. Your vanity is not priority. Your sobriety is priority. And what you're going to do to help yourself continue down this journey, continue down this path, remaining sober. Every day makes you stronger. Every day you become stronger. Remember, the stronger you become, the weaker you can be too, because you can be blindsided. I could have vanity blinding my vision as I move forward with 30 years of sobriety, and something simple could trip me up as well. And there have been times where I'm like, oh my God, I am too sober for this shit, are you kidding me? And I have ranted and raved and screamed bloody murder, finally calmed down, felt like an idiot. Hey, nice cue. Felt like an idiot, and here she comes to comfort me. Mamacita. The thing is, at that point, I was also very weak. Something could have knocked me off the apple cart real quick, and 30 years of sobriety could have went down the drain. I often tell people I quit smoking cigarettes, and that's also the worst advice I think I ever had. It was so tough. And I remember getting upset coming out of work. I hadn't smoked in 3 years, my only New Year's resolution that never worked. Yay, got one. Now, drinking was never a New Year's resolution. I was usually drunk. So by the time I sobered up and got arrested on April Fool's Day, believe it or not, I was already sober by the time that New Year's rolled in. But smoking was the one. And I got so mad after work. I just couldn't believe how frustrated and angry I was. Started my car. I was up in Duluth, Minnesota. It was winter. It was cold. Heater's just blowing cold. I'm just waiting for it to heat up. I'm getting angry. Pounding on the dash and swearing. I went ahead and I just smacked the cigarette lighter, popped it out, reached in my pocket, and realized I didn't have cigarettes. I hadn't carried cigarettes in 3 years. And I had a cigarette that moment, I would have been lightened up. We get into habits, old habits. We react to certain things that seem normal to us. And no one else doesn't even think it's normal, but you think it's normal, so therefore it's normal. And you just go, all right, it's time. Ooh, I have a cigarette. I'm going to have that drink now. And that's the whole thing. You get all worked up, and muscle memory just kicks in. Get out of that smoke, drink. Got to take the edge off. Got to cool myself off. And then you find yourself in a situation where you're using again. And all of a sudden, 6 months went down the drain. 1 year went down the drain. 5 years went down the drain. 10 years went down the drain in another marriage. These are normal things that happen every day, but you can stop them and just take a moment, take a time out, just like you would with your children, making them take a time out. You need a time out too. If you get too caught up in the situation, you will make a mistake. If you're a football coach and you get too caught up in the game itself, you'll make a mistake. Or an athlete will make a mistake, much the same way, because you're not sticking to a game plan. Game plans are fun. Game plans are a good way to work. These type of things, happiness one day at a time, to me it's like a game plan. That's why when I read it, I read the date. And that's the thought for today, was to reach out and connect. And it's fun. I'm reaching out, I'm connecting with people right now through the internet. Because of this, I have people sending me questions, and I'm going to start answering some of those, and I'm starting to assemble a small community of us that are together. It takes a village. We all have to work together. When we become addicts, we become very selfish. And we have to learn to be outside ourselves. We have to actually learn to shut our mouths, listen to other people. Don't sit there with a comment already. I got a comment for you. No. You listen to what they have to say. Take it all in. Then reply. There's a slower pace to it. It's not a ping pong match back and forth. Tennis match. No. You're engaging with someone. You're connecting with them. You want to encourage them to communicate through longer stories and make them feel at ease, make them relax so they can tell you more about themselves, and you're going to find the treasure in other people. The bonus is they're also going to find it about you. Just because you're in a situation where I don't want to tell them I did cocaine, this is so awkward, so embarrassing. There's probably someone out there who's struggling with cocaine right now that hasn't even told their family. Might come up to you and say something. I've had people do that to me. They're still actively losing, Freudian slip, and they're going down the drain. They're losing everything. What do I do? How do I regain it? How do I become someone like you? How do I become anything like you? Not me physically or personally. They just see 30 years of sobriety as a bedrock. How do I get to that direction? How do I go to that mountain? Because 30 years stands out like a mountain. It attracts attention. It attracts people coming. Build it and they will come. People have questions. People want to tell their story to me, and I want to hear it. We're going to have people on our show too that are just going to be close by in the Houston area, because that's where I am right now, and they're going to want to come on and they're going to sit and talk with us. I'm going to listen and enjoy some of their conversations and find out what they're really all about, how they got to the situation they're at. So we hope that you stay tuned. We hope that you like us, follow us on YouTube, join our little society, our little village. Share your questions and concerns because they mean that much to us. Once again, thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for listening. And like I always say, it's like a rock and roll revival. Rock and roll connects. That's another connection. Rock and roll, music, spiritually. Everything is connected. Everything that's generally surrounded by understanding and love is the most productive than just putting up walls and putting your fist in someone's face. Peace and love. Peace and love, everybody. I appreciate you. I'll see you again on the next episode of Stitch in Time. Thank you.